Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm lighting a red candle. I'm lighting a red candle for Devi, for the divine feminine. Friday is the day of Devi, and in India, this is a beautiful. I've been in a couple of villages where on Fridays women paint their feet red. Along with other traditions to honor the divine feminine in all of us really on Fridays. And I also light this candle for all of those all over the world who are mourning the loss of Her Royal Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and the gifts that she gave to many people all over the world. And my heart felt sympathy goes out to all of the members of her family and again, those who loved her deeply and spent so many years with her in her long reign of 70 years. And I remember my mother was she was about the same age and greatly, very fond of who she was and how she grew into her role. So yeah, this is for women. This is for the divine feminine in all of us. This is for Friday. Also, today is a portal. Today is the 9th day of September. This is the 9/9 portal. And I have set up an altar for the 9/9, and I want to talk a little bit. I will bring in the energy of nines and look for nines in the readings today because this is a time of, and there's so many synchronicities. So my card this morning for myself was, can I say coincidentally, the Hermit. It's just, as always, amazing how these synchronicities come into place. And so let's walk in the readings today with the Hermit, guided by the light towards, there never is truly a completion. We're always on a path, we're always on a journey, but this is the winding up of an aspect of your life. And with the Piscean full moon energy, there truly is, I want to say, one of the biggest, and I know this is a difficult word for a lot of people, and that is surrender. With the Piscean full moon and all of the other aspects that are present in the stars at this time, I don't think there is an energy other than surrender that is going to support any of us. This is a time very much of integration and allowing. And for those of you that are in a place where you're trying to get things done, you really truly are swimming against the flow. And so I want to encourage today's readings in today's readings to really truly listen to messages of surrender, and also to look for completions and what this 9/9 portal may be opening up for you personally. Okay, it's a wonderful day to do readings in the energy of the full moon, the 9/9 portal, being supported in general. Friday is just for me, it's a great day. So Thursday I read on Thursdays. I do a lot of readings on Thursdays. It's influenced by Jupiter. Big, and I also see Jupiter as the guru planet, and then we move into this softer energy on Fridays, which is really lovely. So welcome to all of you. I will be using 2 of the decks by Anatorian, the Tarot of the Abyss, and I'll be coming on in the next hour talking about Tarot of the Abyss, and I've never done a reflections on this deck, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, as well as bring out Bonestone, and make some comments on Oracle of Echoes as well too, celebrating the art of Anatorian, who is, I want to say, a beautiful Devi in our tarot world. Yeah. So let me say hi to everyone who's here. We have a few new people who've joined our crowd, and so welcome to new members. Welcome to people who are joining for the first time, for the second time. It's lovely to have you here. So Lydia Ann, good morning. Hannah, hello, welcome to you. Good evening to you. Helen, please remind us where you are. Helen, I don't recall. I'm not sure if I have ever known. Donna, welcome to you. And I want to acknowledge the racehorse comment. And I think that we all know how much Queen Elizabeth loved her horses. And you've seen, I'm sure most of you, the piece of art with her walking away with Paddington Bear. Well, there is another one that was done, and she had Prince Philip, and as well as a horse on one side of her. And it was absolutely beautiful. Hello, Diana. Welcome to you. And Joel, namaste. Patricia, hello. Welcome. Sunny, lovely to have you here. Happy Friday. Joseph. Yes, that was absolutely amazing. Over the tower at Westminster, at Windsor Castle. Yeah, that was beautiful. Irene, hello to you, and welcome to Eliza. I'm doing well. I had a lovely walk on the beach this morning. I've really been committing to my morning beach walks. Of course, Amber loves that, my dog. And I just feel really connected when I'm there. I really live in an extraordinarily beautiful place in the world, and I count my blessings every day. So let's start with a reading for the collective on this 9th day of September 2022. And if these readings support you in any way, if you feel like these messages coming through, please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Just opening up YouTube so I can see. I also want to acknowledge too that this Piscean full moon energy can feel a bit like a tsunami, especially for those. Actually, no, I want to say for everyone, because it's a lot. It's a lot of water, and it has a tremendous intensity. And so please be kind and gentle with yourself. I also feel like taking the weekend off, taking a couple of days off might be in order for everyone here. Yeah. All right. This is funny. This is the card, a very powerful card. It came up in a reading for a dear client just a couple days ago. This is the card I chose, one of the cards I chose to put on the thumbnail, the Eight of Cups. And if there is a message of surrender, this is definitely one. And I don't feel in any way this is a giving up. I feel like this is a reclaiming of your energy. This is a time indeed. One of the things that strikes me in this image is the darkness. And I don't feel as if she's stealing away in the night. but there's a sense of moving towards the light. And we see that in a lot of Eight of Cups cards. There's also a gorgeous flow of energy in her clothing, the fabric that's wrapped around her body. And I think this is one of the greatest messages of what's happening right now. Yes, this is an 8, it's not a 9, but it has that energy of flow and moving towards the next level and the next aspect of what we're moving through. So I think it's a great card to start with today. In the center, we have the Four of Cups. So like I said, lots of water probably going to present today. And interesting contrast, we have a 4 and a double 4. Perhaps, this is a card of resistance. This one is a card of surrender, and this is a card of resistance. Or perhaps there is a sense of, leave me alone. I'm in my space. I need to be in my process. And so I also want to acknowledge this as an aspect of self-care, to giving yourself space and time to be with your emotions through this next few days, and to truly listen, and most importantly, to listen what you are ready to let go of. Because indeed, I feel that we are all ready to let go. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have what appears to be the same or a similar woman who is weaving light, weaving energy, allowing energy to flow through. The 9s flow into the 10s, of course, and this is a time of tremendous change. So please give yourself sufficient space for processing, for integration, and then where you and how you are able, make space for letting go, honoring that up, offering that up to the full moon, returning it back to the earth. This is interesting. This is from Oracle of Echoes. This is the Discord card, and I can feel this energy between these two cards. You acknowledging you're ready. You're ready to go. You're ready for this experience. But indeed, I don't want to dummy down the card in the center. There is something that is going on externally, likely internally as well too, that feels immensely uncomfortable. And the truth is that while it appears that leaving is leaving something behind, the lesson will always be with you. And so if we struggle, it is very difficult to be in the flow of energy. So just be really mindful of that. And if there is a way to diffuse the anger, diffuse the frustration without harm, that's an important part of letting go. And so perhaps what indeed needs to be released is anger. It is resentment, right? This is a very fiery emotion. And I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but if we're associating this particular card with depression, then one of the ways to look at depression is anger that is involuted, right? So anger turned inward, and the light becomes very, very dim. And I think this oracle card is reminding us that indeed the fire is there, and if this is what is ready to be released, you are being suffocated. You are being suffocated. And I appreciate what Lydia just commented down at the bottom of the chat as well too. Okay. Kind of lovely to get a move on message at this time. Irene is first today. Eliza is on the list, but she had a reading last week. All right. Thank you, Donna. So I will be pausing in between this broadcast and the next broadcast just to sort cards. So I will be concluding after 1 hour or just a few minutes before the hour. Okay. All right, let's go to Irene. And Irene, do you have a specific question? Let me know about that. If there's a specific focus for your inquiry. All right, so this is a reading for IS, Irene, on the 9th day of September. And I just have to do one thing here to... There we go. Allow, surrender. A message for this 9-9 gateway for okay. All right, so we have the Aquarius card, we have the Star. And so another card of, I wish English was more creative, or maybe it's just me. Another card like the Eight of Cups that is taking you forward to a much higher frequency. And then a card of discord, and then a card of focus. Okay, so your question, what? Let's look at the card in the center and recall the previous oracle card, the whole idea of discord. And I feel that when this sort of energy arises for a lot of people, if we don't have the tools to manage it, if it's just awkward, it's just really difficult. There's a pattern of avoidance that's very, very common. But this is an important part of processing, of being on the journey. If we don't cross the bridge of the fives, so we don't actually deal with it, it's going to be there and keep recurring in some way. So perhaps this is about there's so many negative expressions, like not being the doormat and things like that. But it is important, Irene, that I feel you before you can actually hop aboard the ship. There's an act of completion that is absolutely necessary. There is an action that I want to say you are required to take to complete. Remember, this is an opportunity to embrace a completion. And this is something probably that feels very uncomfortable for you. And so this portal, this door is wide open for you. Look at both of these cards on either side. But there's something about an aspect of your life where I feel as if you chose not to engage because it was easier. And so there's an action that will help you to move through this. Beyond the veil. Beyond the veil. So dealing with um, in a way that, so remember everything I said at the beginning, in a way that doesn't feel debilitating for yourself is important. But it's not about ignoring it. It's very important to do something about it, to make it clear whether you are expressing um, an opinion that has a lot of charge behind it. This is part of your releasing process so that you can step through and step onward. Okay? All right. Thank you. Diana. Okay, let's go to Diana. I'm just going to check the box for those of you that have this deck. I want to let you know which cards are not in play. I'll just hold them up here. So these are the cards that are not in the deck, okay? I have the alternate 10 of Swords and the alternate 3 of Swords in the deck. And we can talk about that in the next hour or two. Diana. Okay, let's go back. And hi, Kristen Louise. Welcome to you. Okay. The best thing, Diana, right now you can do is to take a few days to be really good to yourself, to give yourself space to surrender to the emotion that is moving through you. All right, this is a reading for Diana on the 9th day of September, 2022. Looking for greater clarity into the situation with D, his feelings. I feel like we're going to be going to the throat. He doesn't have the tools, the skills. I don't know how many couples actually take communication courses when communication is an issue. I think it would be amazing if more couples were able to do that. So we start with the Lovers and the Knight of Wands. This is a very potent Knight of Wands. I feel there is a connection with spirit. There's also a wonder. Wonder, not wander, wonder. We often think of the Knight of Wands as wandering, but there truly is a sense of wonder here. I don't want to not include you asked about his feelings. And so there is a sense of passion. There is a sense of connection. This is actually quite a if you look at these two little pixies, they, I don't know, it's a bizarre illustration, and it's been a while since I read the guidebook, but if you look at this, the woman is in the back and the knight is looking at, it's kind of an androgynous figure in the foreground. It does appear as if she is chasing him, but there's a sense of, I truly don't know what to do. And I wonder if he has a sense of, the controlling is something I also want to bring up here. So it feels, I don't know, let's see what else we got. We have another 6. Okay. So when we are in this portal energy, we're looking at 9s, which are the power of 3, and you have the power of 3 twice here and the power of 3 twice here. That, for a relationship reading, feels significant. It feels important. Bringing together the aspects of the divine feminine and the divine masculine into a harmonious place through the power of the hexagram and the number 6. So there is a sense of, I don't know. I mean, there's some, sorry, Diana. I want to, first of all, encourage you to give him sufficient space to allow him to process what needs to be processed. The Lovers is air, mutable air, Gemini. The Knights are associated with mutable signs. And so he's just not certain. He's just not certain, I feel, about how much he wants to give and how much he wants to receive. So perhaps the best medicine is to give him a little bit of space to truly take care of yourself and love yourself, so that it's almost as if by you honoring you, it shows him how important you are. I'm going to pull an oracle for you as well, too. A jumper card. Let go. What does that mean? Does that mean leave the relationship? Does that mean give yourself space for the weekend? Does that mean reduce the amount of clinging? Is, again, another word that feels really difficult. So give him space. Give him space, because he doesn't know how much he wants to give. He doesn't know how much he wants to receive. He's in a place of getting to know himself as well, too. He acknowledges the fact that you are lovers, that you are in a relationship, but he isn't certain where this wants to go. Okay? So honor yourself. Honor yourself. Sunny DD. I have this image of many of us holding hands and jumping through this portal together. If you have an opportunity to Or perhaps I'm seeing also like children holding hands and jumping into a puddle. If you are somewhere where the weather is still warm and you're at the lake holding hands and jumping off the dock, off the wharf into the lake with friends. The message that's coming through is to be playful. Be playful. And if we choose to immerse ourselves into the tidal wave rather than being knocked over by the tidal wave of the Pisces full moon, I think that is a loud message to spirit as well too. Okay. Sunny DD, this is a message for you. Gaining clarity on I'm just trying to find rewording on what and where your energy would best support you at this time. It's just the word should that I'm trying to get rid of. Don't like that word should. Thank you, Diana. Appreciate it. There are no shoulds, Sunny. The moon, well, there's our Pisces card. The wise one. And the Page of Pentacles. So 2 earthy cards. Let's look at this a little. I feel like this is quite a practical, kind of practical advice. When I see moon plus Page of Pentacles, I'm thinking psychology or something like that. Right? This feels like a course, like studying. And this whole these court cards, they tell a story. There's a bit of a journey here. Then I believe the knight is behind the page, and there's a key. Keys are such an important symbol as well too. And when I see key, and I'm thinking key plus knowledge, I'm also wondering too, for some reason, I'm thinking, like ayahuasca ceremony, something like that, sitting with the shaman, sitting in sacred circle. So not necessarily psychology, but focusing on maybe there is another certification that you are interested in that helps others move through their shadows and things like that. So I would consider, if you haven't signed up for a course this fall or starting next year, that there is a teacher that is indeed ready to guide you. And this may be for your personal development, but it may also be for guiding others. This is such a gorgeous moon card, the way that we see the masculine and the feminine on either side of the abyss, and the energy is wrapped around the lunar energy. Gosh. Is this something that you've been considering? And if you haven't, I think this would be highly supportive. And you ask where, so I think it'd be really cool to go to somewhere like South America and to actually work with an authentic wise one. And that might not be your place, but it feels like the authenticity of the wise one is important. You may have to dig you may have to dig, like, let's look at this, right? You might have to dig a little deeper to find it. Oh, okay. This is the death card. What is it something to do with being a death doula? Is it something to do with grief counseling? I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. Or so also when I'm seeing Peru and you turn down a trip to Peru, part of the shaman, right? So part of the it's about traveling between worlds. It's about letting go of this plane and moving to other planes. So, oh, that's perfect. Well, if there is a way to find your way back there, this kind of work may be very, I want to say it is very important for your soul's journey. The direction of death in the so I the shamanic training I did was Indian as well too. And so death is to the west. Death is to the west. This is the direction of the jaguar, the rainbow bridge. And so focusing on, like, if there's any preliminary studies you can do with that as well too, that might be something, a place to put your focus. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to read for you. Kristen Louise is next. Okay. I'm just scrolling on down here. I need to pause it or it's gonna jump. And there's Kristen. There we go. All right, let me shuffle and read. Kristen, you know the word in your question that feels really uncomfortable for me? You're very welcome, Sunny. So let's think about what's going on right now. So I opened welcoming in the energy of Devi, the divine feminine energy. This is Friday. And so there may be something for you in going back to honoring Fridays and just bringing in that tradition as well. I mean, there's always reasons, like I had a power outage on Tuesday, so I didn't do live readings on Tuesday, but this is all part of a divine plan. So I can be here in this Pisces moon energy, helping people, working with you, being here on Friday, the day of Devi, lighting the red candle. So it's all very guided, it's really something. And Kristen, in general, Friday is the day of the goddess. I opened by talking about a tradition in India where women paint their feet red on Fridays. And it's really quite, there's other things as well too, but that was one that really kind of struck me. So, yes, FIX. There's no fixing your relationship with Devi. Just allow her. Allow her. Allow Goddess to move through you. I can see you. It's this funny image. I can see you lying on your back. I don't know where you are. If you're on a lawn or you're somewhere soft. Your belly is exposed, and it's almost as if Devi's moving through your belly. It feels like Devi is healing your solar plexus. Place your hands on your belly, breathe. I don't associate Devi with the third chakra, but it feels like Devi wants to heal your belly. Devi wants to enter into your solar plexus, to empower, to cleanse your digestion. Interesting. It's exactly where Devi wants to be. Devi wants to be in your belly. Okay. Man, I love this card. I really love this card. I see you, you see me. We understand how important it is, this connection. And the angle that I'm looking at this card on the table, the way that I'm looking at this, it almost looks like the animal is a four-legged animal. And so this feels another thing that I see you doing as well too is I forget what it's called, the practice where you sit back and you look at the aura of trees from a distance. It's a very powerful practice. I think it has a name. So there is an invitation for you to reconnect to spirit through reciprocity, through nature, connection with nature. So in the Ten of Swords, there's a complete letting go of the doing and more of a being with life. Such an interesting King of Swords card. I see this energy as someone who's emerged from the maze, or perhaps he's reached the center of the labyrinth, and standing at the center of the labyrinth, there is this illumination overhead. And so these two cards feel like spiritual illumination. And in the highest frequency of the Suit of Swords, that's where we're going. So we're leaving the books behind. We're really giving ourselves space for that feeling, that feeling of when the crown chakra just has those fuzzy little feelings, and it's like, ooh, you have little tingles all over your body. I should really read the chat. Absolutely. Perhaps I should walk in the woods without blasting Elvis through my earbuds. Yes, yes, yes. Kristen, this is one of my pet peeves. I feel, not often do I see people in the woods because of where I walk, but I feel that when I pass people who are on their phone or listening to they have earbuds in, one is missing so much. We lose there's a disassociation with the energy of spirit. $24, $25, $26, $8. I feel the power of that sort of a practice. And maybe where I see you is, on in a, what do you call it, like a grove in the center of the forest where there is soft ground, or maybe there is a little hill in the center of the ground where you lie down. This feels like a meditation, a guided meditation that I do for Reiki initiations. That's not the right word for Reiju, where we walk in the forest, we come to a clearing in the forest, we find a hill, we lie down on the hill, and we allow the light to move through us. This to me feels like maybe there is another path as well too. You may have a route in the forest, but maybe there is I feel like slightly more dangerous place, or it's a little further, or a little more difficult to get there, or I don't know. It's the theme of allow definitely shines through in those first two cards. And there's something as well too about the two and the two here. So we have like I know this is a one, right? This is a one and this is a two, but there's it's like the two are one. Okay, so another message for you is that there's nothing to fix. Freya is within you. Why? Yeah, okay. I don't know why, Kristen. She wants to emerge through your belly. She is there. She is at the warmth. She is at your center, and then your oracle is create space. So that is very fitting. There you are in the forest or in some outdoor space. Honoring. And there we have the red, the color of the goddess. I don't know, I'm not talking about tarot, but red paint, red fingernail polish, red lips is also a sign of adornment, red blood, menses, and so forth. So that's why I lit the red candle today. Okay, so give that some thought, Kristen. Thank you. It's great advice, Donna, about the breath. Okay. You're welcome, Kristen. And I want to say something too, that I'm not always great about acknowledging your donations. I try to respond if you donate through Ko-fi, but know that it's with great appreciation that your contributions are received, and I apologize for not acknowledging them all the time. So the next one is Maddie. Okay. All right, there's Maddie. And Maddie, do I know you? Are you a familiar Maddie, or are you just looking to see that it jumped, so I may have missed Maddie's question. Okay, I'm going to go to the bottom and then go up. Okay. Just looking for, I don't see Maddie's question. There's Maddie Hart. So is Maddie's question above or below this comment? Okay, just want a reading, feeling lost. Okay. All right. You're in good company, Maddie. This is a lovely, lovely group. And if you weren't here at the beginning, just honor this day of 9/9. This is a gateway of honoring completions. It's a gateway of sacredness. It's a very sacred gateway. 9 is a deeply connected to the divine. So we're also in that tsunami really of the Piscean full moon. So know that it's perfectly normal to have an abundance of emotions, overwhelming emotions at this time. Okay. I was just wondering, Maddie, if you were, I don't even know if I know your last name. I do, but it's not coming to me. If you live here, there's a young woman named Maddie that I've read for and done Reiki many times here in Gibson's. Okay. Let's find some clarity, some focus for Maddie. There's a reason, there's a reason, of course. This very challenging card in the center. And I want to talk about guilt. And the importance of, and why we choose, why we choose to feel guilty. Because if we don't define what is ours, if we don't find a voice to stand up for ourselves, it's really important that we know when to claim what is ours. And what I feel in the Two of Pentacles energy is a coming back to wholeness, a coming back to I feel as if you've been in a narcissistic relationship for a long time, that you're finally at a place where you've decided to take some action. And this is really difficult place to be, because there can be a huge amount of guilt. There can be a sense of self-doubt around this, especially if you've been in this relationship for a long time. And so this is a coming home to yourself. And so be very gentle with yourself. Do things that feel good in your body. And remember, the theme that we've been talking about today is one of quiet and space and surrender. And so finding space for yourself, space to be alone and to heal is really important. But you know that this is a coming home your to yourself, and it's time to come home to yourself and to integrate the pieces of yourself that have been lost. Okay, let's pull an oracle card. Just waiting to see if you have any feedback. And if I've gone in a completely unexpected direction, there's going to be a truth in this idea of I feel self-empowerment through voice that is really important. You are stepping into something, and what is moving through you and what is being healed is a deep ancestral wound. This may be something that you've seen in your mother and her relationships, your aunties, your sisters. And so you being the brave one, you being the one to stand up. Okay, so this can be of tremendous comfort for some people. For others, it's like it's too much information. But you are in deep work. You are in deep work. You are doing big work. You are doing work for your feminine line. There's something about the feminine energy today. And also healing future generations. And so if you can focus on the goodness that you are spreading, the healing that you are doing in all directions of time, sometimes that can bring us peace as well too, that this is bigger than me, this is bigger than my story, that this actually has the possibility of affecting my great great grandmother and bringing healing to her soul as well too. So continue with self-care, self-love. Know that you are right. Your actions are in alignment, right? They are in right action. Um, you are seen. You are seen. And thank you to everyone in the chat who's also supporting Maddie at this time. All right. So that concludes our readings for today. I will be back on in 15 minutes or so. I have another broadcast planned, and there will be no readings during this broadcast, but I just wanted to share with you why I've come back to the Tarot of the Abyss and bring in some of the other arts of Anna Torian's decks. Okay, so my plan is to be back with live readings next Tuesday. So for those of you that are just arriving and asking for readings, please come back next Tuesday and we'll get you at the top of the list. Okay, take good care, and I'll see some of you very soon. Namaste.